Guys, every now and then, there's a vehicle that comes into your lives. And it comes into your life in the weirdest way you'd never think would happen. And then it leaves your life in an even more bizarre way. It's one of those vehicles that just keeps you, it stays in your mind and you just don't ever forget it. And that's what we're going to talk about on this week's Monday Morning Memory from Pugliese Speed Shop. So for this one, guys, we're going to go right over here to my book. And you probably already caught like a quick, sneak peek of it as I was showing you some other vehicles. What the hell of a truck. My 1971 Ford F250. This thing was, it was when trucks were trucks, right? Like that's what everybody says. Just a good looking truck. In the background here, a whole bunch of other old schools we had at the time. But let's sit down, talk about it, find out how we got this, and how we lost it. I did not use any of those words on accident, and you'll understand when we go through the story. So from the beginning, I was at work. I was working in Oceana on the base there. I was in the Navy, right? So I was on night check, working at VFA 136 on the mighty F-18 Hornet, when my buddy Jimmy Martin comes to me, who we were in China Lake together, hung out a whole bunch over there, and then he was in Oceana now too. It happens, small like F-18 communities. We kind of follow each other without realizing we're following each other. But he said, hey man, now Jimmy is the great guy, okay? He is the redneck's redneck, okay? And I get that people might not like that term, but this is self-proclaimed by him, okay? He's from Mississippi. The man could fix anything. Just don't ask him how he did it. You don't want to know, all right? He comes to me one night and tells me, hey man, I got a guy in my squadron down here who's got an old Ford pickup, 70-something, I don't know. It's got like a 390 in it. He can't get it to start. He's changed everything, can't figure it out. He went and bought a Bronco. His wife said, this thing's got to get out of here. You can have it, dude. Come get it. You want it? What's up? Come on. Jimmy's a high energy guy, right? So I'm like, all right. You got a title? He's like, yeah. You guys know I'm not a big Ford guy, but I like old trucks, and I think they all got their place. So I'll go check it out. He said, there's one catch. There we go. What's the catch? You got to take everything that's in it because the bed is full of crap. All right, no problem. So I had my Dakota at the time. So I drove my quarter-ton Dakota, pulling my little, my one-car trailer to this guy's house who happened to be on the way home, right on the side of Route 17, on the way home. Pulled in this guy's place, and there's a truck. Maroon, F250, looks legit, got some decent American racing rims on it, nice tires. Didn't look all rotted out, wasn't all beat up. The paint looked presentable. That's okay. Let's check it out. And I just looked at it for like, I don't know, 3 minutes in the dark, and I was like, it's worth nothing. So sure. So we winch it on my trailer, and this thing looked ridiculous. Going down the road in my Dakota with this giant 71 F250 behind me. So surprisingly, Dakota pulled it well. We get back, like I said, we recently just moved into our house in North Carolina, so I had like 8 acres. Sky was the limit, right? We get home, cool. My buddy Casey's living with me at the time. He's an electrician by trade. So I said, man, I don't know what this guy put. He changed the ignition switch, of course, battery, and then people always look at stuff. They do it a lot, guys. I've done videos on this where like, oh, it won't start. It needs a jump start. Not if your battery's good. Like, you got to know what's wrong with the car. So, battery was good. Turned the key. Everything came on as it should. Lights all worked. But this guy put plugs, wires, cap, rotor, starter. That one actually makes a little bit of sense. Alternator, everything he could think of. And nothing. So I remember back to when me and my dad went and looked at my brother's what became my brother's 66 Mustang. He had a 66 Mustang, inline six, cool little car. And it was dead. We got it for a couple $100. I think I told this story before. But car was actually really nice. Same thing, the guy couldn't figure it out. He changed everything. So it ended up being the solenoid on the Fords on the firewall. What was vice grip called? The steal me junction, right? Because they're pretty easy to steal when it's right there. You don't even got to reach. So that usually the solenoid and the regulator sit right there. Two key components that cause problems, these things not to start. And it was getting nothing, which that's what the solenoid does. $12. I said, okay. Before I talked to Casey. So I bought the solenoid, the regulator, put it in, nothing. So now I'm doing the same thing that guy is. I'm throwing parts at it. I was like, well, there's nothing left but the wiring. It's got to be the wires going somewhere. So Casey says, hey, what's it doing? We look at it 2 seconds. This guy figures it out, right? He's like, dude, there's a wire going from the back ignition switch down to the starter. That wire is probably broken. That makes a lot of sense. We take take a wire, we twist it on the back of the ignition switch, run it out the window down to the start. Boom! This thing fires to life, and it sounds incredible. 390, long tube headers, coming down through like glass packs out the side. Yo, this truck sounded as mean as it looked. I mean, it was everything it should be. Great oil pressure. I mean, this thing was incredible, right? So, oh my God. We throw it, we don't even fix the wiring yet. Throw it in gear, this thing, burn out down the road. I'm like, this thing is dope, right? And we got 0 miles. Oh, I take that back. I got about $36 invested in it with the parts I bought that obviously weren't bad. So we had a little box of parts that we kept the things in case something did go bad. We know they were good. But yeah, so we get we got it running great. We ran around a little bit. I would go back and forth to chips in it a lot. Well, actually, the first thing we did is cleaned out the back. We went to the dump. We just drove the truck to the dump. Threw everything in the trash, with the exception of some tools that I still have in my toolbox today. Some little kits you see me use actually in the shop were in the back of that truck, so not bad. We ran around a little bit. Like I said, I'd run back and forth to Chip's house when we were carpooling, and it wasn't my day to drive all the way up there because it wasn't the best for gas mileage, and we had like a 60-mile trip. I'd just shoot over to his place, keep that thing running around, and it was doing great. Well, as time kind of grew on, I realized, similar to the situation I'm in right now, I didn't need all these pickup trucks. So, Jimbo, you guys know Jimbo, he was doing a little handyman thing on the side back then, and he was using his Camry to do it. This guy could get a 2x4 into any vehicle. All right, so I said to Megan, hey, why don't we give this truck to your dad? This way, he don't got to jack up the Camry. And she's like, that's a solid plan. So we drive it over there. We're like, hey, here you go, dude. And he's like, oh, this is great. So it leaked a little bit of oil. So he had it pulled up far enough so it wasn't on the concrete. Just had the front of the truck in the grass. And I don't know how much handymaning he did with it. I'm sure he drove to the dump a time or two. But he had a buddy of his. This guy named George. George, I'd say that he gave you the shirt off his back, but I never saw the man wear a shirt. So he would if he had one, I'm sure. Great guy. Always had some kind of entrepreneur thing going on to where if you needed something, he had it. I bought a couple cars off of this guy. I stored some cars for him at one point, helped him with stuff around the house, and he always had. Everybody knows this guy. Everybody's got a guy like that who does a little bit of something and then like a little bit of something over here. Jack of all trades type, right? So he messed with cars a lot, but he wasn't really into working on them. He just would find one on a good deal and flip it or run it until, I don't know. I never really knew what his goal was, if I'm being perfectly honest. All right. But he has Jimbo up. And he says, hey, I need some wheels. So somehow, I don't know what he needed wheels for. I'm thinking it's an 8-lug because he took the wheels and tires, which I said were pretty nice. American Racing, I think they were BF Goodrich tires, and they looked really good. Off of that truck, he needed to borrow them. I've never been in a situation where you borrow wheels, but like I said, George has had a little bit of everything going on. So Jimbo drives the truck over there. I guess he drove it over there. I'm not really sure. Leaves the truck there. I had gone past George's house. It was actually on the way from my house to Chip's house, and I saw the truck behind his stockade fence, like the roof of it. So it was up on jacks. He'd taken the wheels off. So, all right, whatever. It ain't my truck no more. I just noticed it, and I'm always looking, right? So I see that, and I'm like, huh, all right. We time goes by. We're over at Jimbo's house. He lived about 20 minutes from us at the time. And I'm like, yo, whatever happened to your truck? I haven't seen anything in forever. You got 2x4s hanging out the Camry again. He said, George had to borrow it for the wheels. I said, yeah, you said that. That was a while back, though. He's like, yeah, I'll get it back. Whatever. I'm good. Whatever. Jimbo's a very laid-back guy. And he don't ask too many questions, all right? So we, more time goes on. And I don't see the truck at George's anymore. I mentioned it to Jimbo, and he's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. So that's what happened, guys. He lost the truck. We give Jimbo a hard time all the time about this, but somehow I gave Jimbo a truck, and he lost the truck. I've lost a lot of things in my life. We all have. I don't think I ever lost a truck. Not deliberately, anyways. Not indeliberately. Anyway, anytime I lost one, it was on purpose, is what I'm saying, all right? So, no idea where it went to, what happened to it, and all that. And unfortunately, since then, George has passed away. So we will never know what happened to that truck. And something tells me we may be better off not knowing. It was a super cool truck. I cleaned it up before we gave it to Jimbo. The only thing that was wrong with the whole thing, we ran the correct wiring, and we gave it a little tune. Actually, we didn't need to. We gave it an oil change, and yeah, that was about it. Cleaned it out real good. Jimbo, we gave him those old like tweed seat covers. It was maroon with a tan interior. We got one the same colors. That's what they purposely made those to match those trucks. Put that in there, nice. It looked really. It just cleaned it all up because the rest of it was really nice. I don't think it had a radio in it, but Jimbo had an 8-track on standby because it's his thing. And I don't know if he ever got it put in. But thing was a runner. It was a beast. It was good looking. And one of those trucks, like, now since then I went cross country and back and all that kind of thing. I'm not a Ford guy, but if I ran into that truck right now, I'd scoop it back up. Especially for the price I got it from in the first place. Free. Guys, that's like 4 free cars I told you about so far that I've gotten. I think I'll have to go back and check my stats, but at least 3. And man, that's not bad. Thanks for watching, guys.